Hey y'all, it's Whitney, and welcome back to an episode of Spastic Chatter. If you're new here, Spastic Chatter is a platform meant to feature those in the cerebral palsy community, and I get together with individuals with CP, like myself, to have an uncensored chat, if you will, about what it's like living with this type of disability. And for this episode, I have with me Savy, and fun fact, she has not been officially diagnosed with cerebral palsy, but she identifies as having CP. So I'm gonna let her tell you all about that. So Sally, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we will go on with the conversation.
Awesome. I'm glad to be here and thank you for having me. I'm Savannah, aka Savy. Um, I am 25 years old, living in Tennessee. And yeah, I have CP, kind of.
Like how you said, you have CP, kind of. Can you explain what you mean by that?
So, pretty much when I was a baby, you get all those shots when you're a baby, you get all those fun shots. I think my body was just overwhelmed by all those shots that I got really sick. Almost, like, I almost didn't make it, but I did, obviously. And, so it got me so sick that I'm in a wheelchair. And all of my symptoms, I guess you could say, are CP like. Like I have spasticity, I drop out loud noises, all the fun stuff you get when you have CP. So I just usually, if someone tells me in passing or asks me in passing, I just say, I have CP, and they just go on with their day. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I think that's really cool and interesting how you identify as having cerebral palsy. I'm curious, did your family, like, when did you start identifying as having CP? And did your like medical team give you the idea to start it, or did your family come up start doing it on their own? Like, what was that like?
I think it was my family. So my dad's a doctor. I
Okay.
think it's kind of helpful. Um, so when I got sick, he was still kind of in med school residency era. So very early on, but like still, we were in a neighborhood with a lot of doctors too, families. So they were all trying to figure out what was going on with me. So they kind of were like, yeah, she did CP. Kind of. It's what everyone was like, yeah, this is a rare disorder, but I think there is a name for it, but like everyone just says CP. So I've just said CP for all my
Yeah,
life.
it's just so much easier. I bet it's just so much easier for you to say, "Oh, I have cerebral palsy," and like we were joking before this, like you can just say that you have CP. Like
Exactly.
people keep it moving. We don't need. I don't want to tell you my whole life story, and I just met you,
I just met
so
you.
we ain't close.
Always fun at work. I work at Top Golf, and there's like the older guys there that are like, "Oh, you're in a wheelchair." I was like, "Yeah, I am." You're not cool.
Like, oh, like, oh, you're so inspiring. You're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like, dude, shut up. I'm just living my life.
I'm the one that works
I'm
here. You don't. So
yeah, I can say that again.
I'm the one who works here. You don't. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And I also work with 3-year-olds on Wednesday nights tonight. And they always ask me, and I just say I got sick as a baby, and they're like, "Okay, cool. Can I
yeah,
get a ride?"
I love how kids react. They're so different than like adults. Like, kids, they really don't care. Like, my nieces and nephews and their friends, like, they don't, like, you tell them that you answer them, like, and then like they're good. Like
Yep.
they don't treat you any other way. Like they treat you like any other adult. Like
Exactly.
yeah,
And if they're small enough, I let them sit in my lap, in my chair, and give them rides. And they absolutely love that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so fun.
yeah. My nieces and nephews loved it when they were younger. Like drive the wheelchair. Of course, why not?
Right.
I already run into enough stuff. And you doing it's not going to make any difference. We'll just tell everybody that I did it.
But,
Because then it's like, poor you ran into a wall. Yep,
yeah.
poor me. So,
So fun.
so you're talking about your employment history, and you did go off to college. Do you want to talk about that and going your journey with that?
Yeah, so I went to Pellissippi State Community College in Knoxville. And I did business hospitality. I got my associates in business hospitality. So that's why I work at Topgolf and guest services, so I can actually use the degree I have, which is a first. Um, but it's really fun, and it was a good experience being close to home and commuting. I do drive. I don't drive all the time, but I do have hand pedals and stuff. Um, So I can drive. I did drive myself a lot to school and back, and I still drive myself to work too.
Well, girl, I am jealous. I live with my boyfriend, and he's also disabled, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a van, but when neither of us drive, and
Mm-hmm.
our life would be just, I feel like would be just so much easier if one of us could drive because we have the van, but then
Right.
we have to find somebody to drive the van and somebody who's comfortable driving the van
I
and loading
That's
us.
been a struggle for me too, because some
Yeah,
of my friends are like, "Ooh, that's a big van." I'm like, "Yeah, I can tell you how it works. You just have to press this button to make the ramp go down, and you got to do this and this and this and this, and
yeah.
then I figure it out."
I don't know, but I don't know about your vehicle, but our vehicle is from 2002 because I had to fundraise for it, and that's all. That's all
Um,
I fundraised. So I've had it since I went off to since I went off to school, and like I look young, but I'm 34. So I've had it for like 15 years probably,
wow.
and like that's all that I could. Like I raised quite a lot of money, but that's all I could afford because that's how expensive accessibility vehicles
Oh my
are.
god.
It's
Trust me, I
crazy.
know that.
It's crazy. Um. So I'm sorry. I'm kind of like jumping from topic to topic,
You're
but
good. That's what my brain does too, don't worry.
yeah.
Happens all the time.
So you're talking about like your friends and stuff. Do you want to like do you want to what about like relationships? Like
Yeah, right now I'm not in one.
yeah,
At the moment,
how has that journey been for
it's been up and down. So I went to this camp in Michigan, Grand Rapids, CLC, shout out. For like 10 plus years, like since like 13. No, I think I was younger than that. A long time.
yeah,
But I had more high school experiences up there than I did, yeah, my actual high school. Because they were all like me.
yeah,
And it was so I call it a camp. It was like this intensive workout program. You guys can look it up. Maybe you can link it if I
yeah, I can link it.
can do that.
Yeah,
But it was really a fun experience with people who are just like me, working out, gaining independence in specific things. And we would all stay in a hotel together. So we used to hang out all the time. And that was my first boyfriend was up there. He still lives in Michigan, so we still talk from time to time. But it's hard since I live in Tennessee and he lives in Michigan.
So funny story. I swore that I would never date another disabled person in a wheelchair, and I throughout my journey, I was like doing all the apps, and like I had like a couple like I talked to a couple people that were able-bodied, and then my boyfriend messaged me, and he was in a wheelchair, and he is 6 years younger than I am, and my twin had to talk me into talking to him because I had it in my mindset. I was like, nope, I'm not dating. I'm not dating a disabled person. I'm only dating able-bodied people. Like, I had that mindset, and then add the age difference, and I'm like, nope, not doing it. And then my sister finally talked me into talking to him, and here we are, 6 years later, and a committed life, living together. And the funny fact is that he looks older than I am. Like he looks quite like he looks he looks quite a bit older. Sorry, I couldn't. My brain didn't want the words to come out. But yeah.
In there.
Yeah. So the universe knew what I needed, and I just needed to accept it. But yeah, that's just a funny,
Awesome.
a funny situation.
Yeah, no, I've had other boyfriends and stuff in town, but yeah, Nick was definitely my longest relationship.
Yeah.
And there was, high school drama up there more than it was my actual high school. Where like someone else liked him and it was fun. Good time.
Good times.
Yeah, but I still do workouts with them, with the owner of this facility, Wednesdays and Fridays on Zoom. And I go downstairs. I have a little workout room, and Mom sets me up, and then I do everything else there.
Awesome.
Really fun. Yeah.
So you mentioned high school, kind of like a joke, but I'm curious, how was your schooling experience, high school? Like, how was that? Were you the only disabled person?
Well, the only disabled person in regular classes, I guess. Yeah. Well, no, I think there was one other guy who was in regular classes with me.
Yes.
And then we had, ADA classes and stuff. There's CDC classes.
What is CDC classes?
Just the ones that are more mentally disabled and more, like, just can't function in normal classes and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
The new movie that just came out. Now I'm going to blank on it.
Out of My Mind?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It was like the class she was in before she went to that normal class.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm coming from 1990. So when you said CDC, my brain would have called it special education, which I know is the wrong term in this day and age. But yeah, that's what I would have.
I think I don't know when they changed it. It's just CDC now.
Yeah.
It wasn't other classes that wasn't CDC, but it wasn't also, just regular classes. They were co-ed classes, I guess, co-taught classes. So there was a main teacher, and then there was another teacher helping the ones that needed a little extra help, a little extra time.
Cool.
And it came with my very fun IEP.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know all about
PTSD
that.
with the good
Yeah.
IEP.
I went from or I moved my high school year, my freshman year. So I I went from everybody knowing me like from like pre-K to like eighth grade and like not really caring about my disability. And then I moved my freshman year of high school to a town that's like 10 minutes away from the town I grew up in. But
Mhm.
there was only like not even 100 kids in my graduating class, and I was the only disabled person like in in my in my school besides like the CDC, like
Mhm.
the few like CDC kiddos, but but yeah, so that was the high school was
Mhm.
a fun experience since
Oh,
sarcasm.
so we have you went to a really small school. My graduating class, just the graduating class itself, was 500 students.
Yeah, so that was a little
That's
bit
a whole, I was like, oh
that's
gosh.
still yeah,
This is
like
giant.
that's a lot bigger than my 100, but yeah. Um. So so what other what other what's on your mind today? Like what? Huh,
I don't really know besides the disabled stuff and my conductive CLC, which is conductive education, conductive learning education. I guess it's what its full name. Um, all of that stuff with the friends I still talk to and hang out with all the time. That's been so helpful.
that's awesome.
And
So
hanging out with friends here. Yep.
that's awesome. And drive your acceptable vehicle. I'm telling Savvy. So I'm curious. Now you're talking about like hanging out with friends and doing all this cool stuff. I'm curious how your disability kind of played on your mental health. Because you kind of like we've mentioned, you kind of have like a rare perspective, like per se. So can you like kind of talk about how it's like played on your mental health, and you can go as you can keep it light, like or
Yeah, no, it's been up and down for sure. And I am seeing a therapist. I've been seeing her since college, I guess now. It was like my second year of college. I was like, yeah, I should probably get one of those.
yeah,
I really didn't start until I got out of high school. Because I was like, when I turned 18, I was like, oh, I'm 18. I'm an adult, but no one's treating me like one. And then it kind of spiraled after that.
I love how you said I'm an adult, but nobody's treating me like one.
Yeah,
Girl,
right.
story of my life. I
Right.
could add like the disability aspect, and then the fact that I look like I'm like 15. Like
Right.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a true. But I've been on my own mental health journey over the past year, and for those that follow me on social media, I post all about it. So that's why I asked. But I'm a true advocate for for seeing a for seeing a therapist because
Mm-hmm.
they're there to listen and to give you coping mechanisms, and they're not gonna prescribe anything. Like they're not gonna like they're not there to like fix you. They're there to listen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's very cool. Um, let's see. what else? What else can we? What else can we chat about? If you're, what you
So
say?
I did recently, the beginning of the year, we go on vacation every year. And, you gotta, traveling in a wheelchair is always a fun process, to say the least. But I use a travel chair. This one, I have my Playmobil, but I love it. But my travel chair is another story, and it's small, and it doesn't let me do as much as I usually do with this bad boy.
See, I have. See, you're talking about traveling. Yeah. I don't think I've ever flown on a plane or anything because I
Yeah.
choose not to because you hear all these horror stories, and I don't want my wheelchair to get messed up. Because I have a small like travel chair like you're talking about, but it doesn't have all the accessories that I need.
Right. Yeah.
And because I use a my chair like reclines, and I use that to function every every day to do all my independent living tasks, and
Mhm.
my feet play elevate and all that stuff. So if you take that away or if it's damaged, then I can't function.
Exactly.
I, I have to rely on somebody to do everything for me, and I've already been there, done that, and I don't want to do it again. So, do you have any that being said, with all your traveling, do you have any stories about hmm,
Oh, do I have stories? Well, this past time was pretty easy. Thank goodness. I have a loving family that comes with me. And they do all the things. So my dad usually helps me get on the plane because he's strong. Or
yeah,
my brother. They're both very strong people. Um, and then my mom is the one like taking the cup holder off, taking my joystick off, taking anything that can break off
yeah.
that we keep with us. So they physically would be hard to break, but somehow it still kind of happens. We took everything off. Like there's no need.
And there's no reason this should be breaking. What
Yeah.
is happening? It shows how much care airlines put into accessibility devices.
Yeah, hopefully, I don't know if you've seen the video, Shane and Hannah. I don't know if you've ever seen them. He has SMA. But he got invited to see Delta's new seat that they're putting in, which is an accessible seat. Like you could fold it up, put your own chair on it, and fly with your own chair. I was like, hopefully
It's
that comes
so
out
helpful.
because that would be it's 2025. How is this not a thing?
Yeah, exactly. Like
How is it just becoming a thing?
we're such a progressive we're in such a progressive time. So why isn't this happening? Seriously. Um. So I'm curious. Do you have any plans of of like or when you were in college and stuff? You lived on your own, or no, you lived with your parents.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Do you have any plans of moving out and God, because it's so because finding caregivers
right. Yeah,
is such an ordeal.
it
Like
really is.
like
I really haven't. I have thought about it a little bit, but not a whole lot. I kind of want to go back to thinking about it again since I am 25 now. But I mean, this house, they made like so we moved into this house almost 10 years ago now. Yeah, 10 years ago. And they made it especially for me. So all the entrances are level. We have an elevator so I can actually go on all the floors. My bed is one of those adjustable beds, so I can sit up.
Mine too.
It's nice. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I have like a side table with all my stuff on it. I have an adjustable desk.
Me too.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Me too. I know. I was just curious, and now
Yeah.
that we're friends, I can
Mhm.
I can give you the advice about living on your own and help you with all the resources. So
Exactly.
I'm glad to met you because it's all about community and
It really is. There's not really a whole lot of people here in my area that have any disability, let alone CP.
yeah, I don't have anybody close to me, and they're all states away.
Right? I
I
mean,
did.
like I said, with the CLC people, so it's in Michigan, but people come from all over. One of my friends is from Texas, but from the Dallas area. And so we don't really hang out. We haven't since I've been back to that camp, which I'm aged out of now, so I really haven't been back. I know, it's fun.
Yeah, I
But
went to camp
we
when I
still
was.
talk. We try and keep up. We're trying to plan a trip where she can come here, or maybe we can go somewhere. We don't know.
Yeah, I went to camp when I was younger, and I went to Lions camp for for like 10 plus years, and I had my one friend that we went every year together. So Brittany, if you're watching this, shout out to Brittany for being that friend. But
And
but
like that too.
yeah,
My friend Alyssa, she's my best friend ever. And she helped me. We went to church camp together in high school, and she helped me. It was only a weekend trip, so it was nice. It wasn't too long, so I didn't have to do too much. But she did help me change and stuff.
awesome. Well,
One
Brittany,
thing about having a friend with disability, you have to get to know them very well because you will
oh
be.
yes. Oh yes, that's with anybody. Like with they don't even have to be your friend. Like if you're in my if you're gonna be in my life, you're probably gonna have to help me at some point. If we're
Yeah.
coworkers, you're probably gonna have
Yeah.
to help me at some point. Like
Even my guy cousin has helped me with things before. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Like
what happens? I'm sorry.
yeah, like modesty goes out the window
Right.
for sure, for sure.
I'm used to it now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah, um. At the we could honestly, I feel like meeting you, we could talk about different topics for forever, but um but 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 to keep your episode at a reasonable listening time, at the end of every episode, I kind of ask my guests if they have any advice for those that might be watching. So, Savvy, do you have any advice for viewers?
Not to be
Any kind of life advice? And say it
not to
again.
be
Sorry.
like too cheesy, but always find something that you like, have something to look forward to in the day. If it's really hard, I always use TV. I always watch my TV shows at night to like wind down and be like, hey, yeah. So I don't have to think about the day anymore. But it is a good like thing to like have something to look forward to if it is tough.
Yeah, that's awesome advice. Yeah. Um, and we kind of timed this just right because I just got a notification that our time is gonna expire because I don't have the paid version of Zoom because uh I don't want to pay for it. So there's that. But yeah, but but thanks, Abby, for being a for reaching out to for answering my post on TikTok uh and for engaging with me on social media. I was really excited to have you on, and I think we've become fast friends. We've only known for not even an hour, so this won't be the last time. This won't be the last time you hear from me. But if you're watching this and you want to be on an episode of Spastic Chatter, just reach out to me wherever you see this episode, and I'd love to have you on. And until next time, I will see everyone in the next episode. Thanks. Bye.